Hey guys, it's the Redstone Wizard here again, bringing you another episode of Let's Learn Some Redstone. Alright, so far we've covered redstone dust repeaters, some of the power sources that you could use for them, comparators, torches, pistons. Now we're getting into add hoppers, and now let's get into just a little bit more. Alright, like I said, we're going to go through every single component in the game. Some of them happens to be put together due to how close they are related to each other, like the pistons were. Now, we're doing droppers and dispensers. Okay? Now, crafting recipe for both is the same, except the dropper doesn't have a bow. The dispenser has the bow, the dropper has nothing. There. That's done. Okay, so now the difference between the two is what it does with certain items. Okay, no matter what item you put in the dropper, it's going to put it out as a standard, just a item, like throwing something on the ground, just like that. That's it. That's what the dropper does. Dispenser does the same thing, it just throws the items out on the ground, depending on what it is. Now, in the barrel, I have what I think is all the items at the current moment that will dispense the item, that will have the item out based on circumstances. Some of them, the circumstances are, it's there. So, we got shears. The shears will be used on two items, either sheep or on to get honeycomb from either hives or from nests. You got arrows, which if there's no blocks in front of them other than like an air block, a pass-through block, it'll fire through. Same thing with splash potions and lingering potions. They will just shoot out and hit things. Glass bottles will be either water or honey. Flint and steel, it has to have a block below it. Snowballs are just like arrows. Minecarts, able to dispense them out as long as there's a rail pretty much attached to it. A bucket, as long as there's either a water or lava, and then it's able to spit out the water or lava. TNT, well, as long as it's not blocked. Bone meal, as long as there's something to bone meal. Saplings, or even saplings, crops, things like that. Boats, as long as there's water. Tridents, treat them like arrows. And snowballs, be able to hit you. Fire charges, the same thing. As long as there's nothing in the way, it will fire out. Shulker boxes would actually just place it right in front of you. Eggs, well, like snowballs and arrows. Bottle of Enchanting, it's like a standard potion except it will dispense and give you XP. Then you've got the pieces of armor. If you're not in front of it, it will only drop out. But if you're in front of it, it will equip you with those locations. That's all the types of armor. That's everything that you can put on your avatar. Head, chest, legs, feet, doesn't matter what it is. If it can be put on, it will be able to be put on. And spawn eggs, but only creative. You can only get these in creative, so you'll be able to utilize creative means to get them in a dispenser to have them produce the mob that you spawned in. Now, that's the major differences when they're just like this. Now, the droppers have an advantage over the dispensers, because if you take a dropper and attach it to another dropper and attach it to another dropper, you can actually transfer items from this one to this one to this one, out, putting it into chests, hoppers, any container block. Dispensers, on the other hand, Don't. This typically this will be the last line, and then it's putting it out into the world. So you use droppers to put things into dispensers, dispensers to activate things like for tree farms, bone meal. You use, and that's literally what most people use dispensers for, is for tree farms. Occasionally they use them for other farms. I use them for all sorts of other things too, but yeah, it's crop and tree farms typically because bone meal. Easiest way to dispense bone meal, or honey block, or honey for honey blocks, things like that. But it puts items out. So now, quick review. Droppers, they can transport items from one to another if they're connected. And if it has an inventory space for it. So, like, if I put a furnace in here, doesn't matter what furnace it is, if it can receive fuel, and if this is on the backs or the sides, if it's on the side area, you will be able to receive the fuel. If it's on the top, it's going to put in the fuel. It's going to put in the smeltable items. So there's that. Or if I'm creating an item elevator, which is another use that people use for droppers, is item elevators. Being able to just silently move them up using nothing but redstone. No quirkiness needed for other things. Dispensers, well, honestly, what I like using dispensers besides bone meal is throwing arrows, potions, tridents. Doesn't matter what it is, just as long as it's one of those things that can launch out and launch them out. There's randomness to it, but you know what? If you can deal with the randomness, you can work around it. Put snowballs and attach a bell to it. Yeah, that will work. That will create you a... put a bell around here. Observer attached to the bell. Bell rings. Get an output. Yeah, that works. It's the same thing. But yeah, it's one of those little quirks. Understanding how to use the differences between the two is crucial when coming up with certain types of redstone. Auto-equipper, dispensers. Item transport, droppers. Unless you're giving someone arrows, and then use droppers. But, you guys, hope this video was informational for you. Like the video, if you want to support me, subscribe, or join me on Patreon. Links in the description. If you have any questions, comments, just let me know in the comments. If it's something really huge, I recommend using my Discord. But you guys, this is the Redstone Wizard. Enjoy building.